What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. How are you guys doing? Today will be a bit different to my normal Amazon FBA videos. I'll be talking about credit cards today, particularly credit scores and the 5 factors that will affect your credit score and what the ideal credit score should be and how you can improve your credit. So if this sounds interesting, let's go.
Guys, now inside my computer, I'll go through the 5 factors that will affect your credit score, as well as the credit score ratings on and what you should ideally be having in terms of a credit score. So as you can see here, this is the FICO credit score, which is between 300 and 850, where 300 is terrible and 850 is excellent. If you are at between 300 to 560, it means that most likely you will not be accepted in terms of getting a loan, simply because you are performing poorly in those 5 factors that I'll mention in a minute or two. So the way forward is to actually build up your credit score over time and show the bank that you're trustworthy of a person to be giving credit and a loan. Good is what you should be aiming at, so which is between 700 and 750, which is very doable as long as you are following those 5 factors and meeting them and do have long enough credit history that will allow you to generate that sort of score. Excellent basically means that you are doing everything right. In terms of the 5 factors, you are doing everything right and definitely and easily be able to get a loan or mortgage, etc. Good, you have a high possibility of getting it. Actually, look at the 5 factors. So here are the 5 factors and the weighting of what each factor consists of. Payment history being one, and that consists of 35%. Payment history basically looks at what it basically says, your payment history, how often and how well are you actually making payments, are you making it on time, and are you missing any payments? That will actually determine whether you are trustworthy to actually accept it by getting a loan or not, which is quite straightforward and quite easy to understand. If you're not making payments on time, or if you're not actually paying back the loan, then no bank's going to actually lend you money, which is important to actually understand that. Credit utilization basically means, so say if your credit limit was £1,000 a month, you should only be spending 30% of your credit utilization. So that's £300. The reason for that is so the bank knows that you're not too reliant on credit and you can actually look after yourself or pay off some of your bills, etc., without actually having credit, which basically shows that you are capable of doing things by yourself. And that actually takes 30% of the weighting in terms of how your credit score is determined, which is quite a large amount. Credit age basically means how long have you had a credit card, for example. So say if you had it for 1.5 year, you have a good credit age, which means the banks can actually determine and look at your history, whether you've actually been paying it on time and what you've been taking credit on, etc. You have more data. Whereas if you only had a credit card for say like a month or two, the bank can't really determine much in 1 or 2 months of how well you are and how trustworthy you are as well. So credit age does take a factor, which is 15%. Different types of credit. So banks tend to like to know you taking different types of credits and from like different companies as well. The reason for this is so that again they can do like a background check on what sort of credit you've taken before, how you've actually coped with that, and just it gives them another factor for them to take into account before actually accepting you to borrow money off them. That takes 10%, so it's not a huge amount, but it is a little factor that does actually taken into effect. And number of inquiries, that means that have you ever, for example, gone bankrupt or any bad situation, be a red flag for the bank to actually lend you some money. These are the 5 factors that will determine your credit score. And in order to actually improve on that, you basically just have to look at the weighting on, say, the payment history and credit utilization being the two of the biggest. So say if you pay off your credit card on time and not actually take that much credit, so paying like say your petrol expenses or some of your bills that doesn't cost that much. Obviously it depends on your credit limit, but try to actually vary it. So you're building up your credit history as well as not affecting it by taking advantage of it and relying too much on it. But them two are the two main ones, and then credit age, different types of credit, and number of inquiries. Make sure you have that back of your head as well, and just overall do things that will allow you to actually gain a high credit score, because over the long run, when you want to apply for a mortgage or take a loan for a business, for example, or any other situations, it will help you so much, because a bank are more likely to lend you money if they can see some good data about you than to someone that don't. And it's important to actually have a credit card, borrow some money as well. Even if you don't need to borrow money, it's good because it will allow you to build a credit score. Most of the credit cards allow you to actually generate points, so you get like free travel or vouchers or cashback as well. And it's a way of learning how to manage your money as well, which is really important. And it's better to do it now than later on. Think about it. If one person has a credit card with a good credit score, other person doesn't have a bad credit score but has no credit score because they've never had a credit card, who do you think the bank will give the money to? The person with a credit score or the person without a credit score? So that's why it's important to actually get a credit card, even if you don't need it, and just to yourself out in the future, which you definitely need. That is all for this video. If you did find this video useful, make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button down below.